All right, students. So let's move on to understanding like, in, and between operators. We've already seen that where clause is used along with logical operators, along with mathematical operators. Now let's see how can we use certain specific commands like, in, and between to retrieve certain specificity of data. Right? We can actually do a lot of specific elements over here, specific actions over here. Let's see. Now, the three operators which I'm talking about are like, in, and between is what we have seen. We'll start with like, but before we start with like, we need to understand that like is used majorly for two wildcard characters. Whenever you use wildcard characters, something like percentage and underscore. Now, whenever I use percentage, I mean to retrieve any number of characters. Whenever I use underscore, I mean to retrieve only a fixed number of characters. Confused? Let's try and understand this. Don't worry about this. It's very simple. Right. So let me take you to a syntax. Let's say I want to retrieve all the name of all the people, the first name, or rather all the data in which the first name starts with S. The first name starts with S. So I'll go for select star from payments, where first name like, and it gives me in colon S percentage. Here, obviously, this is my column name. We have to input the column name. Then we have to go for like operator instead of equal to. So first name equal to something would mean that the data point has to be exactly equal to this. Now, I don't want that. I just want everybody which are basically in the range where the first name starts from S with any number of characters after that. Right, so I'll use the wildcard command over here along with like, which is my percentage here. So colon S percentage would mean reflect all the elements which are starting from S, and after S there can be any number of characters, right? So that is the meaning of this S percentage, that it fetches me all the entries which starts from S and can have any number of characters after that. Right, now if I go for this one, can you just observe the difference between the previous one and this one? Now here I've interchanged the percentage sign over here, right? Now percentage S would actually mean that in this case we are asking SQL to retrieve all the entries which ends with S, and how many characters will come before S doesn't matter. Right, it can be roses, it can be flower, it can be cities, it can be geographies, it can be any number of characters before S. The only thing that I need to retrieve is all the entries which are ending with S, with as any number of characters before it. Let's see it in SQL. So here we are. We'll, as usual, start with defining the database which I want to use. So I'll go for use hr_emp. This is the database we are using. Now, if I just run this, what happened? Yeah, it is using now we are into that database. Now I want to go for select star from employees, where first name. Now, first name, if I want a specific first name, I would have given something like where first name is equal to a text, because first name will be a text. But here I won't be giving equal to command because I don't want it to match exactly. I want to say that first name like S, or let's say A percentage. Okay, semicolon. And once I run this, it's going to give me the list of employees whose first name, as you can see, there are how many entries there? Rerun this, no worries. Right, so once I do this, as we can see, 18 rows are returned over here. So 18 employees whose first name start with A. Right, now if I give another command, I'll just copy this. And if I say percentage, let's say P. Now I doubt that anybody's name would be ending with P, but we can check. Now, as we can see, there is null. There is no first name which is ending with P, but there are chances that the first name might end with S. So let me select this, and now it is giving me only two employees which says their first name ends with S, which are Vikas and Chris. This is how we can use the wildcard characters like percentage along with S. Now let's look at another one, which is we discussed underscore, isn't it? Now we can go for something like this. Let's say select, or rather I have it copied. Now here, select start from percentage, where I wanted specific number of details. For example, let's say I want all the employees who have only 4 letters in their name. So I'll give A underscore underscore and underscore. 3 underscore would mean that fetch the names of, fetch all the data in which the first name starts with A and has exactly 1, 2, and 3 characters after them, right? So let me run this. And as you can see, Aman, Ajay, Asim, Alia, Atul, are the employees, or rather I should say data over here, in which the first name is starting with A and is having only 4 characters. Now, if I decrease it down to 3, it should give me, okay, it should have given me all the data in which the first name starts with A and have only 3 characters. And obviously, as we can see, it's null. There is no data point like this. Now, I'll go for 4 underscores over here this time, right? So now I'm getting the entire data where the first name is starting with A and having 5 characters, because A is followed by 4 underscores over here, right? So like Alpin, Aditi, Aisha, Azhar, Arnav, and so on. Like, now I can play around with this, right? I can say, let me look at Azhar, right? So, okay, let me say that, okay, I forgot the name of the exact spelling of the name of our employee. The only thing that I knew is it starts with A and ends with S, but I forgot in between. So what I can do is I can do something like this. A percentage S would actually mean that it should start with A and can have any number of characters in between and should end with S. Let's see what happens over here. Now, there is no employee like this. Let me say N. Okay, now if I run this, now you can see Aman and Alpin are the 2 employees whose name starts with A and ends with N over here, right? And this is how we can, use this particular command. Percentage over here would mean that any number of characters can come in between. Now, if I put in, let's say, 2 underscores over here, then I'm specifically saying that fetch the name of all the employees, or fetch the details of all the employees where the first name starts with A and ends with N and have exactly 2 characters in between, right? Because there are 2 underscores. So I just run this. I can get that there's only one person like this, which is Aman. Now I can go for R, and let's say, is there any employee like this? There is no employee like this. I go for another underscore and run. Okay, now it is giving me Azhar, because Azhar starts with A, ends with R, and have exactly 5 letters, that is 3 letters between A and R. So this is how like can be used with percentage and underscore. You can play around with this. I would suggest that play around with these two with MySQL, and you'll understand that a lot of things can be done using this.